LOB crazy.
Oh my god, it's Christmas. Oh my god, that is so good. Welcome back to another video. It's Christmas Eve. Thought I'd whip the camera out, stay working. Yeah, today, my god, it's so yellow. 1 minute, let me turn the nice light on. Much better. I've been trying to think of something like Christmassy related for a video, but honestly, I actually want to make videos that you guys want to watch and like are going to get something from. I might do like a random Christmas cook up like in between Christmas and New Year or something. But for now, I thought I'd dive specifically into loops, like making really nice loops, how to layer them, the kind of sounds, the amount of sounds, and how to properly structure it into an actual song. Because it's one thing to make beats for beat battles, whole nother thing when you're making beats for rappers. You know, you need to make things way more simpler. You know, you can't really overcomplicate things, and the structure is key. Like, the structure is so key. So we're going to dive into it. I'm going to literally start off from the beginning, show you how I build up my chord progressions, how I layer on top of them. That'll be the first part, and then after that I'll structure it into like a full song, you know, from like the intro, chorus, verse, hook, bridge, you know, just do all of that stuff. But yeah, let's get into it. We are literally on the edge of 20k. I might even be on 20k by the time of this video. And I did want to say a huge thank you to everybody that has supported the channel this so far. Like, this year has been like the best year for everything for me so far. Beat sales, YouTube stuff, like everything's kind of done really well. And like, so yeah, like I can't thank you guys enough. I'm going to be doing a big giveaway in the new year because of hitting 20,000. I'm not sure what it is yet. I haven't really sat down and thought about it, but just know that I've got you guys. I've got a big giveaway coming soon for you guys. But yeah, let's get into this video, shall we? So I've got this melody right here. This is like the first part, and I've kind of like left the second half out so you guys can see exactly what I have done to build this up. So this is the actual like bass melody that I'm going to have playing throughout the majority of the beat. Okay, nice and melodic. It sounds nice and complex, but in reality, that's not the case. I didn't actually do a whole lot to this, so let me break this down. So the root note of all of this is just two keys, okay? We've got F and we've got C sharp, and then we're back to F, and then we're back to C sharp, okay? But where it gets interesting is where you just like build on top of that. So because this is a guitar, and for those of you wondering, the guitar that I used is the Django lead gypsy jazz guitar. It's a really good contact bank. If you have contacts, definitely recommend getting it. But yeah, basically what I did is have this root note. I wanted to have this really consistent note running through the whole loop, so it's just going to be F, F, F. But yeah, as I was saying, because this is a guitar, you want to have this kind of like strummed out and, you know, sounding nice and realistic and natural. Then I basically just strummed it out. So the chord is F minor, so it would be F, G sharp, and C. That would be the chord right there. What I did instead was invert this chord a little bit just to give it some undertone. So the bottom note right here is C, but the root note is actually F. Okay, that's just because I've taken this C that we saw at the top of this chord right here and just dropped it down a whole octave. Okay, it just gives it more, it just fills out the melody nicely. And you see I've got some of these like little passing notes right here, you know, just to kind of make the melody sound a bit more natural. And I applied the exact same logic to the second chord. Okay, so the second chord, as I said, was C sharp. My bad, I made a mistake. It wasn't C sharp, it was A sharp. The chords in A sharp would be A sharp, C sharp, and F. Okay, so I just drew the keys in and you just space them out. You know, you just put like a nice strum effect on them. Make sure that you trial and error with it to make sure that they're hitting in the right place. But that's what you want to do with your first melody. Make it nice and simple. Decide on one or two different chords, sometimes three. So I'm just going to go in and finish this loop off this second half so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. That first part be the same. So back to F. Then instead of going to A sharp, I'm going to go to C, just because it's like the second part of this 8 loops. So I'm going to go from F sharp to C. So we've got C, D, G, and maybe I'll invert this root note, the C note, up to the top, so it's kind of like consistent with these keys right here. And I'll have that hit like that. And then go to A right here, so I'm just going to copy and paste the A chord that we had in the first section right there. And then go back up to C, and then we'll put that C chord in right there. Yeah, that's a really nice melody. I might even slow it down a little bit to like 116. Passing note right here. Okay, cool. Now I'm just going to go in and add some bass notes. So For the bass notes, just follow the root note of every chord, and again, just keep it super simple. So my progression goes from, mine goes F, then it goes down to A, it goes back to F, and then instead of it being A, we go to C, so I'm going to go to C right here, and to A again, and back to C. I'll do a little passo note again. I'll just add a few effects to this, so I'm just going to put it into the mixer, and let's put in like a real subtle halftime just to give it some nice like low notes. That sounds nice. Reverb, let's go with the Valhalla. Now we're going to go in and start adding some layers. The things that I'm doing for this specific beat aren't like strict rules, but you can copy this kind of structure and like this kind of workflow and apply it to yours. But you'll know from some producers that like super simple loops, like Jetson Made for example, he'll just put in like some random sample and like just have it so repetitive. For me, I like to add like, you know, a little bit of variation, some layers and whatnot. But yeah, what I'm going to do is just come in and add some kind of like soft sound just to sit in the background, just to like add some like nice texture to that initial sound. You don't want it to be too harsh. So let's just go into expand. In fact, you know what, I'm going to actually use something that I haven't used for a while. I'm going to come in with the Electric 88. It's just like a nice little Rhodes plugin. Sounds really clean. And let's just put in some really basic triads. Let's just go in with the like basic chords and just keep it as similar as possible. So it was F first. That was the F chord. Then it was A. Okay, the A is way too far down, so I'm just going to put it here. C sharp. So C sharp right here. And then F. Okay. It's the same for this part right here, and then it changed up right here. We went to C right here, so let's just keep it consistent. So it's C, D, and then we went down to A, which was the same. Okay, now let's just like mesh that in well with the guitar. What I'm going to do first is randomize it, and then I'm going to go in and strum them like that. Let's just stick that in the mix, and again I want this to be really subtle. I don't want it to be like in the way. I just want it to be, you know, lingering in the background, almost to the point where you can't even hear it. So I'm just going to go in right now, put an EQ. I'm just going to make it sit in a nice little pocket, so just somewhere around here. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, let's go in with the effects rack as well. Let's put the Echo Boy on it. That's nice. The mix down a bit of halftime. Okay, cool. Do you know what? I actually could hear this beat sounding something like a kind of Rod Wave style beat, to be honest. So what I might actually do is bounce this out as a loop. Speed is way up, and then maybe add some like extra halftime on it. Play with the pitch. I'm not too sure yet, but I'm just gonna bounce this out real quick as a wave. Let's just try and go up to like Rod Wave style, like 160 BPM. Knock it up a whole octave. Put halftime on it. Nice. Okay, cool. Right, now let's add a few top melodies, a few counter melodies, because this is kind of sounding that Rod Wave kind of tempo, you know, soulful, like melodic kind of vibes. I'm going to go in with vocal runs. This is a really cool plugin. I think TZ808 put me onto this. Shout out to TZ. Don't like that. Nice, just repeat that. Put some EQ onto it. Just chop out a load of unwanted frequencies. Some more reverb. So that's going to be like one top melody. You can add several, especially if you're like sending out loops. You want it to be like really unique and, you know, just have a lot of depth to it. And the best way to do that is just add those subtle top melodies, but varied sounds. You know, just throw in a few different sounds to keep things fresh. Let's open up Contact, and I actually recently copped this cool like whistle sound. I don't even know what it's called. Shire Whistle by Embertone. It's like $15 or something. It's really cheap, but it sounds sick. Really simple, really simple. Like, just basically follow the keys that we've got down here. You know, just include similar keys, ones that are familiar. Alright, cool. So we've got our bass melody so far. We've got this top melody with vocal runs, and we've just got this nice little whistle sound. We're honestly almost there. One last thing that I'm going to do is just add like one more texture, and again, these are all real subtle textures. And I'm going to go in with this flute phrases, ethnic flute phrases. So if you guys have Contact, this is a free bank, and it's got some really nice little flute melodies that you can just throw in. Super simple. Literally just repeated that exactly the same, and then just put this little top bit. It's actually quite quiet, that phrase right there. Last thing that I'm going to put for this loop is just a nice sub bass. You'll notice that a lot with like rod wave style beats there's like a sub bass before the drums hit, but that's all I'm going to add before we go in with the drums. I'm not going to put the drums in this video. Maybe I'll do like a part 1 and part 2. But yeah, so this is going to be my full loop. So yeah, this is basically going to be my full loop. Like, I'm pretty much happy with all of this, so we're good to go. So I'm just going to go in right now. We're going to come into the arrangement. If you're wanting to make beats for rappers, if you're sending these loops out for placements for people to actually rap on your loops or on your beats, then the key thing is structure. You have to think about like, what's a mainstream song sound like, or what does like a normal rap song sound like? Normally a quick intro, then it's a verse, a bridge, a hook, and then just repeat it again. That's literally the structure. Okay, so you don't have to go in like with like a crazy structure, like with all these different drops. You just got to have that basic structure, and once you have that, everything becomes easy. And then you can go in and just follow that same structure with the drums. You know, quick intro, drums, bridge, you know, just add that variation as you go. And that workflow, trust me, just makes your life so much easier. Like, I can't tell you how much time I used to spend stressing over certain sections of a beat, when in reality you just got to think about like where the rapper will want to go after each 8 bar. I'm going to split this up by channel, and then I'm just going to copy and paste this over for a few bars. Majority of songs are going to be like around 3 minutes. You might want to go a little bit longer just so you've got a bit of like, you know, leeway for anybody that wants to make a longer song. Okay, we're at like 3 minutes 3 right there. That's a good length for a beat. So as I was saying, quick intro. I think I'm going to have those vocal runs come in after the quick intro, and then the bass is going to play here as well. So, and I think I'm just going to have that nice whistle sound playing at the beginning with the bass melody. Then the sub bass is going to play here. A nice little bass preset for you guys that have got Expand is the subsonic bass. So I'm just going to come into synth basses, subsonic 1. Easy peasy. Okay, cool. Right, so intro right here, and then we're going to have like a pre-hook right here. I might even bring that flute phrase in as well. And this is going to be the verse, okay? This is going to be the verse, or even the hook. Like, it doesn't matter a huge amount. Like, let the artist kind of figure that out for themselves. It sounds like that first part would be like a pre-hook. That would be the proper hook. And then this would be the drop where the verses come in, this part right here. So I'm going to take everything out. I'll maybe have the flute phrases playing still. You'll notice that I'm like chopping and changing things. Like, it really is just do it by ear. You just got to play it through, listen to it, and see what you think sounds good. So yeah, that's just going to play by itself. Bring the vocal runs back in. That's it. That's the verse. That's the verse right there. And then we're literally back to the pre-hook, which is right here. one more repetition of that, and then a quick outro, which we can just do right here, and then just fade it out there. I'll do that when I make the drums and everything, but that's going to be the full loop. Yeah, I'm going to call it there. Get that nice bass melody in first, add a couple of layers, add a couple of top melodies, and then you just got to decide on the structure. But if you kind of follow that workflow, honestly, you can't go wrong. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I hope you guys have a really, really nice Christmas. I hope we're all with our families, COVID-free, all that good stuff. And of course, there's going to be a big giveaway at the beginning of the new year, so be on the lookout for that. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'll see you in the next one.